What is up, Lobster Johns, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a Throwback Friday episode. Wait, Throwback Friday? That doesn't work. Throwback Friday. We're doing a Throwback Friday episode. And today's episode is going to be on Ranga. A giant monster appears off the coast of Japan. It slowly lumbers its way onto shore. Its destination is unknown. The military is dispatched to confront this unknown adversary. But in truth, three girls know why it's here.
Ranga.
As the strange creature continues its rampage, causing extensive property damage, it finally reaches its destination, and we learn why it's here. The answer will shock you. It's here for no fucking reason.
Bruh.
It is stopped outside the Shimabara sisters' house. The girls command Ranga to stop his warpath. He obeys. We then get a flashback to an island called Baru. Their brother had found this island many years prior and eventually married the princess and became the king of that island. Just a little casual colonization for you. Yep. He died, and now the king's title has been passed down to these three girls, giving them control over this behemoth. The three main characters are Minami, the oldest sister and caretaker, who's basically a con artist, the golden child and goody two-shoes Ushio, who's also the main character, and last but definitely least, we have Yuppie. And oh my god, do I hate Yuppie. Also, this is a little bit of a side tangent, but Ranga kind of looks like a long-lost Reggie Gigas brother. Like, look at him. Doesn't he look like he could be, like, the next dark-type Reggie or a dark-type Reggie? Like, I can't be the only one that sees that. Another thing is that Ranga's face will change depending on who's controlling him, and it's downright terrifying. Ugh, like, I hate that. That's awful. Like, why would you do that? They should not have done that. He does have some cool abilities, though. He's able to change and morph his bodies in ways that he can create swords and even grow wings to fly and can regenerate limbs when they are cut off. Ranga is the supposed god and protector of the Baru Islands, but he basically listens to any command the girls give him. And this is where things start to go wrong, because giving three irresponsible girls the power of a god is not good at all. The girls want to keep Ranga with them, but because of all the destruction and mass hysteria he has already caused, the people of Japan and the government want him to leave. This will become a major point of contention that could have been solved in one episode, but will be dragged out for virtually the entire show. But the girls are very keen on keeping him in Japan, despite there being no need. They claim that he could be a hero and a protector. To help with what exactly? Ranga is so big that he inadvertently causes damage anywhere he goes just from walking. And everyone is able to recognize this fact except for the girls. And realistically, at this time, there is no Ranga level threat, making his presence all the more unjustified. This causes a ton of controversy as the Defense Force tries to destroy Ranga multiple times, and each time they're basically effortlessly defeated by the god, and this turns the girls into pseudo-celebrities, and many people come to their little town to see the spectacle that is Ranga, as well as paparazzi and reporters. Now, the pacing in this show is really weird. And this is because the episodes are half length. This means that they need to cover so much in such a short amount of time. And because of this, they usually have to rely on a narrator at the beginning and ending of episodes, and to me that breaks the golden rule of show don't tell. But I don't think this would be an issue if the show didn't try to cover so many themes in every episode. They want to like jam-pack these tiny episodes with so many topics. Like it covers social, political, economic, and religious issues, all the while they have a subplot about a god that wants to destroy Ranga and a secret society that rarely gets developed until the final few episodes, where it's all rushed out in an incoherent mess. But if they took the time to actually adapt the story and focus more on that like subplot, I mean, they can still cover those issues, but like tone it down, like remove a few. The show also can't decide whether or not it's an adult or kid show, because there's episodes where it like the themes get like dark. Like there's an episode about prostitution and the oldest sister Minami gets outed for being a lady of the night. Yes, that is a real episode. I was shocked at that too. Or there's another episode about fraud, cute little musical animated short about money laundering, like explaining how to do it. I was like, what? And then right after, they'll have an episode about Christmas spirit. Prostitution, Christmas spirit in the span of like 5 episodes. It's insane sometimes. But one of my main complaints about this series is that the girls caused virtually every problem they have, and there's so much shit that happens that should have been a character building moment, but there isn't. Like, there should have been a lesson, but there isn't. So now I'm gonna go over some of the episodes that I found to be the most egregious. Yuppie is told not to bring Ranga to school because she's been writing him to school in the mornings. And that's a fair thing to ask. I feel like bringing a weapon of mass destruction to a school is definitely a good thing not to do. Like, for them to not want her to bring that to school is 100% fair. But being the little shit she is, she disregards that and takes him to school anyway, disobeying the teacher's orders, and actions have consequences, and she gets suspended. This should have been a character building moment. This should have been a moment where Yuppie realizes that, hey, I should have listened. When a person of authority tells me what to do, I should probably listen. But instead, the teacher gets exposed for fraud. Like, she gets exposed for being an awful person and goes to prison. And Yuppie keeps bringing Ranga to school after that. What? In another episode, Ranga starts to gain some favor in the community. Like, they actually start to like him and start to actually see him as a god. And the girls take advantage of this by selling good luck talismans that can grant wishes, knowing full well Ranga doesn't have the ability to grant wishes. So they basically scam their community and they get away with it. Like, they never get any retribution for this. There's never any sort of punishment for this. They just get away with it. Like, the writing is a little strange at times. Like, there's no cause and effect. And this does make the show more interesting to watch, though, because the girls get away with some pretty awful shit scot-free. So I'm not really gonna complain, but yeah. The last episode I want to talk about is probably the most egregious. The girls come to a new island where they meet up with their aunt and uncle, who already hate them because of something their mother did. She was killed by the god Raya that they worshipped. So the aunt and the uncle want the girls to leave. But instead, after learning about what had happened to their mother all those years ago, Yuppie takes Ranga up to the shrine and has Ranga blast the shrine. Ranga shoots lasers out of his nipples, exposing the god in the cave. Lord Raya looks like a giant version of Clayface. The aunt and uncle are very distressed about it, since their family has been taking care of him for generations. As Yuppie and Ranga run after Raya, Raya shows up at the festival and starts to wreck stuff, and Ranga fights him. Ushio drops this line about not going around killing other people's gods.
You can't just go around killing other people's gods, you know.
But Yuppie didn't get the message. It whips around all slimy-like before fucking dying right there. Yuppie expects praise from this because now they don't need to take care of the god anymore and are free to do whatever. But the aunt and uncle are like, that was our fucking family tradition. Like, what are we gonna do now? We've done this for generations. Like, who the fuck goes around killing other people's gods? And there are many more moments. I honestly probably could have made this whole video about those moments, but now I kind of want to go back to the story. But underneath all of this is a plot by a group known as the Kiriotis. The Kiriotis is a group of evolved humans, which is a subset of the people of Baru that chose to follow a deity named Tao. And they want to kill Ranga because he rebelled against Tao. This group sends many of these Kyoshins to take down Ranga. Some are actually successful, and others are easily defeated. In fact, most are easily defeated. Other than this Kyushin Ibuki that was featured in an episode where the animation randomly became godly, like, it was a little jarring to see it go from typical 90s big-eyed animation to go to almost realistic looking animation. It was, yeah. I'm not going to complain though, because the episode's animation was incredible. Ibuki was able to do devastating damage on Ranga using a slingshot gun thing before eventually shooting Ranga straight through the chest mid-air, defeating him and sending him falling to the ground. Masaru reappears with tribal face paint. Apparently he wasn't dead, and he had become a member of the Kiriotis, which is an evolved human. He went in search of Tao because he could give him knowledge of all things, and now he has returned to his 3 sisters. They have a nice little family reunion, and then shit hits the fan. He explains that they need to get rid of Ranga or Tao's wrath will come down on Earth. Ushio wants to fight back, and this is when their brother reveals his plan to kill Ranga, as nearby ships shoot Ranga with heavy artillery as Ranga falls lifelessly into the ocean. But worry not, Joel revives Ranga and he comes back to life. And Ranga's damaged and destroyed body struggles to get back to the three girls. Masaru tells the girls that they need to stop Ranga, and Minami and Yuppie decide to help. But Ushio doesn't want them to kill Ranga, so the sisters fight. Ushio gets into Ranga, and Minami and Yuppie get into a Kyoshin. They begin to fight each other as their brother observes. Ushio finally defeats them, and Minami joins her in Ranga. Yuppie finally does something good, and tricks her brother into letting her into Akusa, and this is when she sabotages his core, and then returns to Ranga. Now that all three girls are in Ranga, his true power emerges, and three mirrors appear on his chest. He can now manipulate time and keeps moving away from their brother's attacks. This is why Tao feared Ranga so much, because of this ability to time travel. Eventually, they outsmart Masaru and make him stab himself with the Mirror of Time, and his Kyoshin falls to the ground before he and his partner get beamed into the sky. It seems like they were intending for another season because their brother went into the sky. They said that they want to go and fight Tao, but Ushio didn't want to do so. I do feel like they had plans for season 3, but that never happened. All in all, I did like this show. There was a lot of things that were kind of iffy writing wise. One of my biggest complaints though was just the fact that like this Tao narrative that they had was pushed all the way back 2 seasons to the last 5 episodes. Like you had all this time to like develop it more, but instead you rushed it all out in the last 5 episodes, which really made no sense. Other than that, it's a fun anime. It's really funny. There's a lot of funny moments. There's some cool fights. And if you like mecha and just 90s anime in general, you would really like this anime. And yeah, so check it out, or don't, I guess. I don't care. Bye.